St. Francisville, Louisiana. They call it the most haunted town in America. I came looking for ghosts, for the stories, for the history that clings to these old plantations. What I found wasn't in some crumbling mansion. It was in a cute little Airbnb, nestled amongst live oaks and Spanish moss. Seemed like the perfect writer's retreat. It wasn't. The air hung heavy, thick with humidity and the scent of jasmine. Too much jasmine. It was cloying, almost suffocating. The old woman who showed me in, Mabel, she kept sniffing the air. Said it smelled like rain. It never rained, not the whole time I was there. Just that heavy, sweet smell, clinging to everything. It felt like a warning I didn't understand. The first sign of trouble, my cell phone died. Completely dead. No signal, no bars, nothing. Mabel was gone, her ancient pickup truck spitting gravel as she disappeared down the long drive. I was alone. The silence was the kind that presses in on you, broken only by the rustle of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. Too quiet, like the world was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. No landline at the Airbnb. No internet either. Mabel had chuckled about that, said I could unplug for a few days. Unplug. I was totally cut off. Nearest neighbor, she told me, was a good 2 miles down the road. 2 miles of dark, winding road through the woods. That first night, I couldn't sleep. Every creak of the old house, every chirp of a cricket sent shivers down my spine. Then I saw them. 2 points of yellow light, burning in the darkness outside my window, like something was watching me. I told myself it was just an animal, but the eyes stayed there, unblinking, for what felt like hours. When the sun finally rose, I searched the yard. Found nothing, just the heavy scent of jasmine and the feeling that I was being watched. I tried calling Mabel, tried calling anyone. Dead phone. I was trapped. 3 nights of hell. The second night, the eyes were back, closer this time, and I heard it. A low growl, guttural, primal, echoing from the trees. Terror, pure and cold, shot through me. I locked the doors, bolted the windows, knowing it wouldn't do any good. Whatever was out there, it was old, and it was hungry. The third night, it came closer. Scratches at the door, like claws raking against the wood. The growl was louder, angrier. I huddled in the center of the room, phone clutched in my hand, useless as the thing outside raged. I knew then, with chilling certainty, that it was only a matter of time. No help, no escape. I tried to call for help, but who would hear me out here? Mabel was nowhere to be found. I left messages, frantic, desperate, knowing they wouldn't go through. The sun wouldn't rise fast enough. The woods outside were alive with the sounds of that thing stalking me, circling the cabin. The terror was suffocating, a physical weight pressing down on me. My heart pounded against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the silence. I was completely alone, at the mercy of something I couldn't understand, couldn't fight. Scars I can't forget. The creature vanished at dawn. I fled that cursed cabin, half running, half stumbling down the long drive until I reached the main road. Someone eventually stopped, took me to the nearest town. Never looked back. They tell me it was just a wild animal, but I know what I saw in those eyes. I can still smell the jasmine, heavy and sweet, a reminder of the terror that clung to me in that isolated cabin. St. Francisville holds a darkness I'll never forget, and I'll never stay in another Airbnb again, ever.